This is the story of a family of owls called the Hooters. At the bottom of the garden stood an old oak tree. Inside the tree was a family of owls called the Hooters. There was a mum owl, a dad owl, and 3 daughters. Each night the daughters were read to from an old book of fairy stories. Yeah, said the girls. What's this story called? Asked the youngest daughter. This one is called Up, Down, Still. It's a big, big hill. Yippee, said the girls. They brushed their beaks and washed their feathers and snuggled down in their nests. Mum opened the book and began to read. Once upon a time, at the top of a hill, lived a slender fellow. They were a wonky-wonky bunch with an appetite for all things scrumming. They stayed thin by climbing the big, big hill every night to get home for bed, and the view was incredible. At the bottom of the big, big hill was the Fatifers. They were called this because they would watch television scraps mainly. One day the Fatifers decided to climb the big, big hill to see the incredible view. With the Fatifers, they put on their clogs and set off. Tramp, tramp, up and up they went. But the hill was far too steep, so they went head over heels all the way to the bottom. As the mum turned the page, there was a voice from outside the nest. Hooters! Hooters! The boy cried. Who is that? Said the youngest daughter to her sisters, and they all got up to see. Stood at the bottom of the tree was a boy. Hooters! Hooters! The boy cried. Pooh-wee! Said the girl. It's a boy. And they ran back to tell Mum. Don't worry, it's only a boy. Now get some sleep. That silly boy ruined the story, Mum. Anyway, the 3 owlets went to bed and dreamed sweet, sweet dreams. The next night it was Dad's turn to read. What's this one called, Dad? Asked the daughters. This one is called Squirreled Far Away. Yippee! Said the girls. They brushed their beaks and washed their feathers. Dad opened the book and began to read. Once upon a time lived a squirrel called James. He was a sleepy individual, and the wind outside would blow, but he was safe inside his tray of feathers and straw. James painted pictures of all the adventures he had in the day, like being chased by Bisto, the cat from old Mrs. Picklepants, the grumpy nun from the vicarage, and when all the trees turned red, it looked like someone had tied red ribbons all the tippy ends of their branches. And one day the pool outside Picklepants' vicarage looked like a lost friend he didn't recognise anymore. Just then was a noise from outside the Hooters' nest. Hooters! Hooters! The 3 daughters got up to investigate. It's that silly boy again. Twit to you, said the boy. Get to bed, girls, it's only that silly boy, said the dad owl. So the girls went to bed and dreamed sweet, sweet dreams. Next night it was Mum's turn to read. What's this one called? The youngest daughter said. This one's called Get in My Belly, said Terry. Yippee, said the girls. They brushed their beaks and washed their feathers and snuggled down in their nests. Mum opened the book and began to read. Once upon a time there was a fox called Terry. He wore spectacles and carried a briefcase. Each morning he would march off to work in an abattoir. He liked his job because he could snack all day on meat. Some days he would eat sausages, some days he would eat burgers, some days he would eat chops, and some day he would eat drumsticks. Terry had a friend called Dutchy. He was a proboscis monkey. It was his job to shine the leathers after they had been processed. One day he asked Dutchy what he had in his lunchbox. Dutchy wasn't sure, he was an omnivore. Terry said, Don't be silly, what do you have in your lunchbox? Just then there was a noise from outside the nest. Hooters, Hooters, I have a dormouse for you. Twit-twoo, twit-twoo. Mum, it's that silly boy again. Pay no attention, my owlets, and get to bed. So the daughters went to bed and dreamed sweet, sweet dreams. The boy at the bottom of the hill went home without ever saying good night. Next day he got up for his first day at school. He put on his favourite t-shirt. It had a picture of an owl on it, and he was very nervous and felt a little lost with all the children around him. He walked up to a group of boys and found someone with birds on his t-shirt. Hi, I'm Simon. What's your name? John, said the new friend. I like your t-shirt, said Simon. What kind of birds are those? Tits. Tits, said Simon. That's the name for a woman's bosom, isn't it? Yeah, said John, and they both started to laugh. Do you like my t-shirt? It's my favourite. It has an owl on it. And they both went off to play. Yippee!